Nakisa Hanelly provides you with many different ways of comparing and analyzing your data, and one of the most comprehensive ways of doing this is through the Compare module. So how does this work? As you can see from the examples I have open here, objects that are added to the Compare module are shown side by side, and their data is listed in a table according to different elements, so similar fields are all in the same row. This is really useful if I want to compare data across multiple employees or positions at a time. I can add up to 10 objects to the Compare module. And I can click and drag columns around if I want to compare two objects by having them right next to each other. Or remove a column by clicking on the X over here. From the toolbar on the top right over here, I also have the option to securely share a link to view this table. Of course, as long as the user has the necessary access to see this data. And add this Compare module setup to my favorites. So this is a really powerful tool to give you visibility into your data. And next I'll show you a few different ways to add objects to this module for comparison. You can add objects to the Compare module directly from your OrgChart. So here from my landing page, I'll click on one of the OrgChart perspectives under the Organization Structure section to open up my OrgChart. If I click on the Node menu for any of these positions, you'll notice that the last item that appears is Compare, which would add this position to the Compare module. So I'll just go ahead and do that. I'll also toggle into two-pane view, so I can see my OrgChart on one side while comparing positions on the same screen. And I'll drag the Compare module tab into the newly opened pane. There we go. So now I have a single position in my Compare module. Let's say that I want to compare the Director of Corporate Services to the Director of Manufacturing. In my OrgChart here, I'll repeat what I just did, but for the Director of Manufacturing. So clicking on the Node menu, then on Compare. And as you can see, the application automatically added this position to the Compare module, and I can keep adding other ones if needed until I reach the limit of 10. You can also add employees to the Compare module. So if I go into my OrgChart and click on the purple Expand button to view the employee occupying the position, I can click on the Employee node to view the Employee's Details panel. If I scroll down to the Structure section, you'll notice that I have the option to Compare All, which would add all of these employees to the Compare module, but only up to 10 at a time. From here, or even from my OrgChart a couple of steps back, I also have the option to manually click on the Node menu for each employee and click on Compare. Once again, this would add them to the Compare module. From the Search Results page, you have the option of adding multiple objects to the Compare module through a mass action. So I'll go ahead and perform a search, and click on Enter or on the magnifying glass to view more search results. From here, I can enable the checkboxes for any objects I would like to add to the Compare module. And then from the Mass Actions drop-down menu up here, I'll select Compare. So here, as you can see, all the objects I selected from the search were added to the Compare module, and I can click and drag them if I need to change their order or close them.